When I go shopping for something expensive, I do my research. For example, on Amazon, I'll look at the description of the item. I'll check the reviews. Anything not 4 stars isn't worth looking at. I'll also check the question and answer section. That's where you'll find problems being discussed. So I'm wondering if DASD does the same thing when making large purchases. Today, you'll vote on Wit Wisdom. Have you done the research? Have you checked the reviews? Have you asked the questions and answers to know if it will meet the needs of our kids? Not just any kid around the country, our kids, all of our kids. Do you know the stats for our schools? Last week, someone touched on the Marsh Creek 6th grade center. I know this curriculum is for 3rd through 5th grade, but those grades feed into LMS and DMS. So let's look at the stats for those schools. In 2019 to 2020, on the state assessments, DMS had 77.2% proficient in ELA. 1 year later, it only went down 0.1%. And LMS scores were similar, with 78% proficient and slightly higher next year. That doesn't sound too bad. I was kind of surprised. However, when we look at the PVOS scores, they tell a different story. For both years, DMS and LMS were equal, with only a 50% of, quote, all student groups did not meet the standard demonstrating growth, end quote. Only 50% showed growth. So that would be what I would call a negative review if I was shopping. So I'm a little concerned when I look at these scores for only those 2 years out of the elementary, for those kids, only 2 years out of elementary school. Why are we changing up the curriculum to something that is now deficient in an area needed for reading? Last week, it was confirmed that Wit and Wisdom does not include phonics. Phonics is critical to learning to read and write. That's like me buying a car without an engine. Doesn't make sense. I beg the board to take more time, look at the curriculum to see if it will raise our standard, check the reviews. What are other districts that have used this curriculum saying? How have their scores changed? This is a lot of money. And just like I can return something on Amazon if I'm not happy, we don't have that option as parents. Our taxes are paying for something with a no return policy and apparently little return on the investment. More importantly, it's the next generation of readers who depend on you to pick the right product.
Thank you, Ms.
I
Stewart.
ask the board to do their own research.